Alright guys, I know I'm looking a hot mess. I'm back in the hospital for the third time this week. First time my chest was hurting and they told me I had a collapsed lung. So then I went to another hospital where my surgeons are, got an x-ray, and they said the collapsed lung, first one was 2.5, and when I went the second time they said it was only 1.4, so I actually went down. And then yesterday and today I was having a lot of chest pain and pressure in my neck. So I came back in and my collapsed lung is now 2.9 centimeters. So yeah, that explains the difficulty breathing. So yeah guys, I'll give you an update. I know I've been gone for a while, but a lot has been going on in my life. But anyway, I'll give you guys an update of everything, maybe this video. Right now, I'm not even sad. I was sad the first time I went to the hospital about it, but this time I'm just feeling like numb and kind of over it, and tired. I'm feeling really anxious right now, but I've been having a lot of trouble with my anxiety lately, so that's what's going on right now. My lung is collapsed. It's 2.9 centimeters today, which is the 20th of June, and on the 13th of June it was only measuring 13th of June was measuring 2.5, but then the 15th of June was measuring 1.4, so it was going down, but now it's back. So yeah guys, that's the update right now. Alright guys, so I'm back home now. Well, not home, I'm still at my mom's house. They let me go even though my lung was collapsed 2.9 centimeters. On Google it says a large collapse is greater than 3 centimeters, so but a moderate collapse is like between 2 and 3. So I guess since it's not reaching over 3 yet, they just let me go. All in all, I feel like the doctor was very dismissive at the hospital and wasn't really caring about how I was feeling, because I still felt out of breath and my chest still hurt when she let me go. But I see my surgeons tomorrow. We'll see what they say, but right now I'm having a lot of chest pain and kind of out of breath, but not too bad. So we shall see what happens today. Hopefully I make it to my appointment tomorrow. And what I mean about that is, like, hopefully I don't have to go to the hospital again today, because I'm telling you, I've been in the hospital at least 4 times in the last week, so I'm really over it at this point. And I kind of feel like even when I go to the hospital, they're not doing anything for me. They just do an x-ray, tell me my lung is collapsed, and that's it. Which the doctor yesterday made like I don't know, I kind of felt like it was a smart comment, saying, she was like, well, you had the same collapsed lungs for a year now, which is not true. August, I had collapsed lung, and it kept collapsing. They did the surgery October, then it went away. February collapsed again, it went away. March it collapsed again, then it went away, and now it collapsed again. But this is the biggest collapse it's been since before surgery. So yeah, I just felt like she was very dismissive and really uncaring. Then she tried to say that I was only there for an asthma attack, not a collapsed lung, which I know the difference between my asthma and my collapsed lung. I was having difficulty. I was having breathing difficulty, but it was my collapsed lung. I could feel the chest pain and pressure in my neck, which I told the doctor about that as well, and they were dismissive as well, because I was worried that the air was traveling up here. My mom was worried about that. So anyway, she tried to say that I was having an asthma attack, which, granted, in the situation, my asthma did start to flare up because I was having so much trouble breathing already, and a collapsed lung can irritate your asthma. So yeah, it did start acting up, but it wasn't like severe asthma attack or anything like that. It was just having more trouble breathing. But yeah guys, I'll update y'all tomorrow when I see the surgeons, or if I end up going back to the hospital today, I'll let you guys know. Alright guys, well, I'm back in the hospital. My heart rate was really, really high today, like 150s, and highest was 170. And usually it goes that high, but it never stays, and today it stayed at 170. And there's the heart monitor right now. It's at 138 currently. Stand up, it goes to 160s, and it stays. So I'm at Northside, and they may admit me, and my chest is hurting. So yeah, it's been a rough week for me, honestly, mentally and physically, spiritually. But yeah guys, I'll give you an update. I just got done crying. just feeling pretty down. My heart rate is still high, still 143. It hasn't came down. Just feeling tired, you guys, and trying to stay positive and stay mentally strong, but it's really hard, and right now I'm just tired. So that's the update for now, guys. Alright guys, so labs just came back and my D-dimer lab test is elevated, which they think that means blood clots, so I have to go get down for a CT scan. I'll come back when I have the results of that. Right now I'm feeling winded and my chest hurts, but yeah guys, I'll be back. Alright guys, so I'm not looking crazy, and honestly, I don't even care. Hopefully you guys can hear me. So, I don't even know where to begin, because I know I've been posting in like months now, and honestly, since March, which I made a video about that, but I never posted it, I just been having a hard time, mentally and physically, and so this video is just displaying what happened yesterday, because I kind of just picked up the camera in the moment, because that usually helps me. It's like a diary of everything that's going on, instead of like, you know, keeping it all in. I don't know, just sometimes it helps. But yesterday, okay, so I'm gonna rewind. I'm just gonna catch you guys up to speed. June 20th, I went to the hospital because my chest was hurting really bad, couldn't breathe good, asthma medicines wasn't working. I do have a clip of that as well, might add that to this video. Because I have so many videos, guys, that I recorded for y'all, but I just never sat down, edited them, and posted them for you. So it just became like a diary for myself to let things out. But anyways, June 20th, I made a clip about that. So yeah, I went there for chest pain. They sent me home, but they said my lung was collapsed 2.9 centimeters. After that, the next day, I went to my CT surgeons who did my pleurodesis surgery. They did an x-ray of their own, and it was measuring 1.5 centimeters, and they weren't concerned about it. They said it had decreased in size, which was kind of confusing because in the x-ray notes of Wellstar, they wrote, which I might include a picture, I don't know, it might be too much information, but they wrote that it is 2.9 centimeters, but it is 1.5 centimeters laterally. So I'm not quite sure if the x-ray person from Emory, from my CT surgeons, are measuring the same way, because it seems like the next day I'll go to Wellstar, they will say it's 2.5 the first time, and then 2.9 the second time. Then I go to Emory, and they're saying 1.4 and 1.5. So anyway, so my CT surgeons were not worried at all, and they sent me home, despite me complaining of, you know, the chest pain, and the throat pain. And as long as, I guess this happens sometimes after pleurodesis surgery, you might have like a partial collapse, and as long as it doesn't continue to collapse and it stays pretty stable, they won't be worried, or they're not worried in my case. So yes, it keeps collapsing, but it's staying around it was at first staying around 1.4, and then when I went to Wellstar, they said it was 2.9, which was the same size it was before. Well, before my surgery, it was 3.2 centimeters. So it was getting close to that mark of where it was before I had surgery, so that's why I was concerned. And also the pressure in my throat was new. Like I had that with airway stenosis, because I used to have airway stenosis, and I always have to get airway dilation surgeries after my intubations. So I was concerned. Anyways, okay, so that was on June 20th. Then on June 24th, I had to go back to the hospital because the chest pain was getting unbearable at this point, and the pressure in my neck was also increasing. So at this point, I'm just like, okay, keep going to the hospital, keep getting sent home. I really don't even want to go back, but I just, I'm worried that my airway is closing. Went to the hospital, they gave me Benadryl, Toradol, steroids, and that was it. Then I messaged my doctors and let them know everything that was in the hospital. Then the next day, my entire body was in pain. From head to toe, everything hurt like really bad, and I was having like my whole diaphragm, just to touch on it like this was painful, and it was I was hot. It was really bad. And so I messaged my doctors letting them know all my symptoms. Mind you, at the hospital they did COVID tests because they were going to admit me, but they never did admit me. So COVID tests were negative all the days that I went to the hospital, which was more than 4 times. So anyways, now I'm in constant pain. My anxiety is through the roof. I'm just an emotional wreck, and honestly I felt like I've thrown in the towel because, like, I mean, to be sick so long and just so long and not catch a break since March, you guys. This has been going on since March, which I'm gonna tell you guys what happened in March as well. I have made a video, so I'm gonna include those that as well. But yeah, so 2 days later, my doctors got the message because I messaged them in the portal. I didn't call them, which I should have called, but I was kind of like trying to wait it out to see what would like. I kept going to the hospital, and if the hospital can't help me, I was just like, what can my doctor do, really? So okay, so I messaged them that Monday night, and the doctors didn't get back to me until Wednesday, and they scheduled me for Thursday. And so I came in for an emergency appointment. It wasn't with my regular primary care doctor because he's out of town. And I told her, on the way there, guys, I felt really dizzy and faint. Then when I got out of the car, I felt confused. Like, I know I've been to this doctor's office multiple times. I know what floor it's on. I know, I know where it's at. But I got off the elevator 4 times, you guys, on different, like twice on the same floor. I don't even know how I did that. And then 2 times on different floors. And it was not the floor I was supposed to be on, so I felt confused. Then I felt like I was going to faint and pass out. And when I put the thing on my finger, it said 144. So finally I make it to the floor. So finally I make it to my doctor's office floor. And I'm the whole time just feeling off. Like, I feel like I'm going to pass out. And my heart rate is 144. And anyway, so they call me back, and when the tech comes in, my heart rate is still high. It's like, not too high though, it's like 127, 125, like that. And so she tells the doctor. The doctor's assistant comes in, and I tell her everything. Like, my vision's been blurry. I was confused. I've never been confused. I almost passed out on the elevator. I've never had that happen to me. My body was sore, very sore for a whole entire day. My lungs hurt, my chest hurts, my throat has pressure. The doctor tells me to take Tylenol. She tells me to take Tylenol and rub cream on myself for inflammation. And I told her that, I'm having chest pain. I was confused on the elevator. That's not like me. But I feel like, since they think I have POTS, a lot of them are like, oh, well, she told me that's a symptom of POTS. And they really don't know much about POTS right now. It's a new diagnosis thing, all that. But which is okay. But I feel like chest pain, Tylenol, I just kind of feel like, if I tell you I'm having chest pain for so long, I feel like something else should have been ordered or done. But again, that's not my regular doctor. I love my doctor, but I never seen her before, and she was nice, but so she lets me go home. I go home. As soon as I go into the house, you guys, heart rate 168 when I'm laying down. While I'm laying down, my heart rate is 168. Now, my heart rate has been really high before, so I was thinking I was going to go back down. So I'm laying down in the bed, I'm watching a movie. I feel like I'm gonna faint. My dog jumps on me. Anytime I feel off, my dogs are always around me or alerting me, or just around me, just make sure I'm okay. And so I felt weird, and as soon as I felt weird, my dog jumped on me, and so that alerted me, like, okay, yeah, something's not right. I feel like I'm gonna faint. And so heart rate's 168. It's still not going down. In fact, it's going up. So usually, like I said, it will go high. Sorry guys, I'm out of breath. it'll go high and then it'll jump around. So I immediately go tell my boyfriend, please like call the ambulance. My heart rate won't go down. I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to do this story for y'all, but I'm out of breath. And yeah, so he calls the ambulance and I automatically want to go downstairs because I have a trauma from when I was on ECMO and I didn't get any help right away. I didn't call the ambulance in time, and so I ended up on ECMO. And during that time, before I ended up on ECMO, they had to carry me down the stairs in a chair, and I just don't like being carried downstairs in chairs ever since then. So it just gives me really bad anxiety. So I went down the stairs and waited in my car until the ambulance came. Ambulance came. Now at this point my heart rate is still 169. It went down to 152, but then it jumped back up as soon as I stood up when the ambulance came. So my boyfriend he picks me up and puts me on the stretcher for them. And while we're in there in the ambulance truck, they're like, yes, her heart rate is really, really high. We need to get something to lower down the heart rate. So they're trying to figure out how to bring my heart rate down. They're trying to give me an IV. I have very, I don't know if you guys can see, well, you probably can't, but I have very valvy veins from like being stuck so many times with IVs. So they have a hard time getting IVs on me sometimes. So anyway, they tried. They got an IV on me, and they're able to, they were like, we're going to give you adenosine. That's going to stop your heart for a second and start it back up. And it's going to make you feel really, really awful, but it's going to bring your heart rate down. Did that. They gave me 6 milligrams of adenosine. It did not work. Then they said, okay, we're going to double it. We're going to give you 12 milligrams of adenosine. Gave me 12 milligrams. It did not work. Heart rate was still the high 160s. And they said, okay, we're going to have to turn on the lights. Let's go. It's SVT. So now I'm labeled as SVT. He says it on the mic. I was going to go to Emory, but they're on deferment. They're bringing me to Northside, which is across the street. So he's like, you know, if you pass out, we're here for you. Nothing's going to happen. We have you. We have your back. Which they were very, very nice and very comforting. Anyway, we get to the hospital at this point. Not you guys. Once they gave me the adenosine, I started having an asthma attack. My lungs did not like that medicine. My body, I felt really awful. I felt really, really awful. I felt like basically like you're trying to hold on to life, like hold on to reality, and you're gonna pass out, but not. Like I don't know. But anyway, we get to the hospital. And there's like 12 nurses around me. They're saying SVT, SVT. They're putting on EKG leads. They're trying to calm me down. I'm burning up, you guys. So I have my fan that my boyfriend got me. I have it blowing on my face. I'm crying because I'm freaking out because my heart rate won't go down, which is all the nurses and all the doctors are around me trying their best to bring my heart rate down. They said, get her some fluids. We need fluids. So they're giving me fluids, trying to get my heart rate down. They poked me 3 more times. The IV wasn't pulling any blood, so they had to get another IV on me as well. They said they needed more than one access. So basically my heart rate stayed around 150s for 5 hours. From 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock, from 2 o'clock to close to 8 o'clock, my heart rate was around 150s. After that, after they gave me to finish the fluids, it started to go down some to 138. But my heart rate stayed pretty high. And that's not my norm for me. Like I said, if it goes that high, I only stay that high for a few minutes and it would jump around. This time it stayed the exact high the entire time. And I can say the nurses were so nice. Like I was crying and one of the nurses was wiping my tears away and rubbing my hair down and saying, we got you. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you. You have the best team around you. You're okay. You're okay. And I really appreciate her. Her name was Kinsey, and she was just so, so nice and so caring. And I just felt like I was one of her family members, which I often don't feel that way with nurses nowadays. I won't even say nowadays. I just know that the care at Northside was very, very exceptional, like very caring. Anyway, they did labs, and my D-dimer was high. My D-dimer was high, which indicates possible, I won't even say high, it was elevated. which indicates possible blood clots. So they took me down for a CT scan, and I can't have contrast, so they ordered one without, and they did the CT scan, and they said my lung is not collapsed. Like, I don't have a pneumo anymore, so that's good. It's not collapsed anymore. So I don't have a collapsed lung anymore, and which is good. That's great news. But then it's like, okay, then what's causing my chest pain? Because this entire time, I've been thinking it was my collapsed lung. And also they did an x-ray as well to verify it's not collapsed anymore, or it's very, very small that they can't see it, they said. So, yeah. So now I'm worried, like, okay, why am I having chest pain if I don't have a collapsed lung? And so, he then said that show any blood clots, but they usually do it with contrast to see, you know, clearly, but he's not worried. It was slightly, he said my D dimer wasn't elevated enough for him to be super, super concerned. And at this point, I'm still having breathing, I'm still breathless like I am now, and my chest still hurts like it does now. I know this is a long story, but anyway, he said, so he's not worried. He thinks that it's safe for me to go home. And you know, my heart rate at that point was around 109, but when I stand up, it goes back up high. So I was kind of concerned about going home. I said, well, what do you think caused the higher heart rate? And he said, well, to him, it was just an asthma attack. Which I don't think is true at all, because my heart rate was not high. I mean, not my heart rate. My asthma was not acting up until I got the adenosine. And so I told him that, like, my asthma was not acting up until I got that medicine. And he said, well, what they saw me for was for asthma, what they treated was asthma. So he's labeling it as asthma. That's what his response, his exact response. So now I'm home, and I'm still out of breath. Chest still hurts. One thing I can say is my heart rate is down, so that's good. But this doesn't really feel like asthma. I've taken multiple breathing treatments. And you know, how can you tell an asthmatic that this is their asthma attack that caused their heart to stay up high, that high, when I've been dealing with asthma my entire life? I know what asthma feels like. I know what I'm having an asthma attack. And trust me, if I was having an asthma attack, it would not have been how it was. Like, it would have been more, like, really even, like, 100 times worse. Yes, I was having asthma flare-up because of the medicine, but it wasn't a really bad asthma flare-up. So he's just saying that, I guess, when they treated the asthma, the heart rate came down too. But I feel like even though they treated the asthma, I'm still breathless. So I'm just concerned about that. So I messaged my primary care again, and I messaged my cardiologist again, and I'm waiting to hear back from both of them. That's all that's happened as of yesterday. I do have a video of what happened in March and everything, and I might even make a video of my emotional and mental state, because honestly, guys, it has not been good in the last few months. And alrighty, so I'm in my room because I had to put a pause on the video because my lungs are so tight today. And actually, I think I know why, because the adenosine, like I said, after they gave me the adenosine, I started having an asthma attack on the ambulance. And I actually looked it up, and it causes bronchial spasm and for your, gets your lungs to tighten. So, yeah. I guess it's the side effect of the medicine. I just have to wait for it to pass. But I am taking steroids, and I am taking mag. And my cousin's here with me, so if anything happens, she can call the ambulance for me. But as of now, you guys, that's the end of this video. It's going to be a long update because I'm going to, like, maybe put all the videos I've made into one for you guys and get it posted. Alright, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.